What's going on, everyone? We are back here at Colorado National Speedway over Memorial Day weekend. We've got a 25-lap feature ahead of us tonight, as well as 10-lap dashes after qualifying to help set our lineup. The car's feeling a little bit better than it was the previous week we brought it out, but unfortunately still not getting the times we want in practice. I think we're still topping out at a 19.1 and a 19.2, and obviously before we were running into the 18.8s, so we still have a few tenths that we need to find to get our car back to where it was. But unfortunately during practice we didn't help ourselves, as the 78 here was getting ready to pull off track and just slammed on their brakes right in front of us, and we ultimately didn't have really anywhere to go because we just were in the wrong place at the wrong time. So we did stuff it into the wall and chewed up a bit of concrete and paint into our wheel. Not the end of the world, but definitely wish that was something that didn't happen. So we're going to try our best to go over the car, make sure everything is straight, and see how we can deal with qualifying. Our car hasn't been behaving the way that we had hoped, we were still able to squeeze out a 19.1, qualifying as 13th out of 28 total cars for the night. Not the best qualifying effort we've had so far, so we had to make a couple adjustments because we are quite loose coming off of the corner, but I don't think we had a whole lot of time to really make a whole lot of changes between qualifying and the fast dash. So we just kind of had to deal with what we had and move forward with lining up 13th and just finishing out this fast dash. On lap 4, the caution comes out with a car spinning in front of the field, collecting 2 other cars, giving them some damage. Unfortunately, the sun is in a terrible spot in turns 3 and 4 and gives us a really bad glare, so we don't have a good view of what happened, so we're just going to skip forward and watch the restart. 8 laps, the caution comes back out as the 00 and the 12 get tangled up in turn 2 and spin around, causing another caution. Unfortunately, it looked like the 00 was making up ground after getting caught up in that first caution and just made contact with the 12. It didn't look like it was too bad, as they both were able to get rolling again and restarted to finish out the dash. The rest of our dash went uneventful for 2 laps as we finished up in 11th place. Unfortunately, there were 2 cars that were involved in that first caution that were unable to continue, so they did lose out and we were able to gain on those 2 spots, but they were able to get their car fixed up for our feature, so we started 11th with them hot on our tail and very quickly gave them as much room as we could to get them past, since I know that they are significantly quicker than us. But now we're going to get lined up and try and start our race and hang on for 25 laps and see where we end up. And on lap 4 of our feature, the caution comes back out as we've got some of the faster guys crashing up front on the front stretch. Unfortunately, the 00 looked to be involved in this one again, tangling up with the 6 car there, causing a huge pileup and a huge lineup mismatch because we ended up restarting 14th and just continued to fall back. We didn't have the car we were really hoping for during the feature. We just couldn't fire off very early on, so at this point we were just kind of hunkering down and trying to make the most of the laps that we could turn. As long as we ended up the night with a car in one piece, then we were going to be happy, but we unfortunately didn't have the speed that we wanted, so we just gave plenty of room to everyone who was willing to pass and just held on for as many laps as we could. After the first 10 laps of the race, we got a little more comfortable with the car that we ended up having for the night. Obviously, we're not fast, but we were a little more confident trying to make passes on the other cars around us. We were starting to eyeball the 21 here as we knew that we could get close to him, but weren't sure how we were going to make the pass just yet. And luckily for us, it looked like he had just gotten loose off of the exit of turn 4, and that opened the door quite a bit for us to make the pass on the inside, and we didn't look back on him and stayed in front of him the rest of the race. After making the pass on the 21 a handful of laps ago, we were able to close the gap on the next group of cars in front of us who were all racing pretty cleanly but very hard. We were able to make the run on the inside of the 29 as they just washed up the track a little bit, and we had a little bit better of an exit than they did, so we were able to make a clean pass on the inside for 15th with only 2 laps to go. I don't think that we're able to catch the group in front of us in these last few laps, but we are starting to run into lap traffic of our own, so we're just trying to keep everything as clean as possible, and if we can make the position, cool. If not, it's not the end of the world. But as we see the white flag now, we're starting to see it less likely to happen that we'll make the pass, so we're going to stay right behind the 01 here, just finish out our race and bring it home in 15th place, completing all 25 laps, which for us, with the way our year has gone so far, is a huge win. We'd much rather have a night like this than the first couple nights, so definitely glad that we're able to drive the car back onto the trailer and not have any more damage than we've had in the past. So definitely a good end to our night for this race. Of course, there's a few changes that we need to make to the car before we bring it back out because we still are missing a few tenths somewhere, so we're going to do a quick once over on the car during our week off and see if we can make any changes for the next time we come out. Hopefully we can get those few tenths back, but if not, it's not the end of the world. As long as we can continue to race, that's all that we care about. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and I hope to catch you in the next one.